Warriors, here's exactly why I'm buying assets, and this should scare you. Just as Jamie Dimon said, Jamie Dimon said of JP Morgan, the bank should be scared shitless of fintech, but this is why you should be scared. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health, mindset, and crypto coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. Now we're going to dive right into this, Warriors. Now I want to share with you that this is not about politics. This is not about left. This is not about right. This is not about anything but facts, figures, numbers, logic, and hearing it right from the horse's mouth. So we're going to hear from President Biden and former President Trump. And in the middle, I'm going to sandwich all the things that are happening. And I'm going to share with you why you should be scared and nervous. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Don't listen to a word I say. What I did is I created a Warrior Academy where I show you my exact portfolio, my exit strategy. We have cryptocurrency calls. We have an education platform. We have a community. And we also have a 120-day challenge to help you get your shit together. Subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision board creation, a program that's going to help you manage into this new system by clearing your mind, your heart, your gut, and also understanding where we're heading. So click the link down below to join our private Warrior Academy for 90% off. We will be increasing the price as we go into January because we're revamping the whole academy, and it'll be new and improved in November 15th. So if you're currently in the academy, get ready. A new and improved crypto academy is going to be launched on November 15th. You'll have access. And if you're getting into the academy, now is your time. We'll be raising the price in January, and all those who are locked in before January will be grandfathered in. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to narrate this video. Now, remember, again, I'm not left, I'm not right, I'm neutral. I'm a man of God. I'm a trustee of this land, and this money is nobody's. This is ours to entrust, to protect, to be wealthy, to take care of this land. That's it. Okay. So you were supposed to be wealthy. You were supposed to be rich. You were supposed to be a trustee of this land. But what's happening is we're built into a monetary system that gives you more value because you have more coins than me. So that's the system we're in. So we're going to play the game, Warriors. And what we're going to do is we're going to get as wealthy as possible. We're going to create freedom and bring the money back to the people. That's all we have the choice to do, or you can sit back as an armchair quarterback and complain about left or right. But we need to know the players in the game. We need to know that when you're looking this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. So I'm going to narrate this as President Biden, the current President Biden. Within the paradigm, he is the current President Biden within this Truman Show that's going on right now, the Matrix. And so let's listen to what he says. But I need you to listen closely to what he says about our country. And then I'm going to show you facts, figures, numbers, logic. And I'm going to share with you what President Trump says about cryptocurrency and the US dollar. So let's pay attention.
It's important to your constituents. And you understand what I'm going to talk about a little bit later. The way we built this country is from the bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down. And you get it. And Andy, as my dad would say, you got good blood, kid. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for stepping in. And thank you for the great job you do. Michigan, I also have, it's also fortunate to have an outstanding United States senators who are doing what they're supposed to do. They're in Washington because the Senate's in. Debbie and Gary are in Washington now, and to cast some really important votes to keep things moving. And of course, it's great to be here with my friend. We've become friends, an outstanding governor, one of the best governors in the United States of America, and her lieutenant governor who covers her in every way, both in terms of physically and mentally and every other way. And thank you for all you did to help me get elected. I really mean it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, I know there's a lot of noise in Washington. There always is, but it seems to me a little more than usual now. A whole lot of hyperbole, a lot of heat, and I'm here today to try to set some things straight if I can. I want to talk about what's fundamentally at stake for our country now, at this moment. I know it's an overused phrase, but I've been using it a lot. We're at an inflection point. Anywhere from 40 to 80 years in America, there's an inflection point. We have to choose what direction we're going to go.
Okay, key. We're at an inflection point. 40 to 80 years, we have to choose which way we're going to go. Now, remember, the statement on this video here is his whole model is build back better. Do your research, go down the rabbit hole. Who else says build back better? Comment down below.
What we're going to do, not Democrat, Republican, but who are we going to be? For a long time, America set the pace across the entire globe. For the better part of the 20th century, we led the world by a significant margin in investments in ourselves, in our people, in our country. We invested in our infrastructure, in our roads, highways, bridges, ports, airports, the arteries of the nation that allow commerce to function smoothly and swiftly and allow us to generate significant income. We've invested in our people and opportunity. We're among the first to provide access, for example, to free education. It's the reason why in the 20th century we began to take off. It was back in the late 1890s. We decided among the first countries that we were going to be the first nation that every single American, regardless of their background, it wasn't at the time regardless of their background, but based on income, would have free 12 years of education. We invested to win the space race.
Okay, so we used to have where Americans had free 12 years of education. Why did their education system get so skewed? Who got involved? The government. When they started giving government loans, what became very expensive? Education, your indoctrination system.
We led the world in research and development, led to the creation of the internet. And but then something happened. We slowed up. We stopped investing in ourselves. America is still the largest economy in the world. We still have the most productive workers and the most innovative minds in the world. But we're risk losing our edge as a nation.
He's literally about to tell you that America is going to lose the dominant force.
Our infrastructure used to be the best in the world, literally, not figuratively. Today, according to the World Economic Forum, we rank 13th. Our infrastructure, 12 nations have a better infrastructure than we do, which means they can move product. They can do so many things better than we can do it. We're among the first in the world to guarantee access to universal education. Now, the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development ranks America 35th out of 37 major countries when it comes to investment.
Did you hear that? 35th out of 37 countries. 35th. We're only top 2 from the bottom, Warriors. We're ranked 13th based on the World Economic Forum. Build back better. Go down the rabbit hole, Warriors.
Investing in early childhood education as a percent of GDP. Think of that. Think of that. Of all the industrial nations in the world, the instinct Americans would say, if you asked them 25 years ago, would say we're number 1. We are not. There's only 2 industrial nations that are lower than us.
He just said it. We used to be able to say we're number 1. There's only 2 nations that are lower than us. We're at the bottom of the barrel, Warriors.
All those investments that fuel the strong economy, we've taken our foot off the gas. I don't know what's happened. The world has taken notice, by the way, including our adversaries.
Okay, this is important. He's going to tell you that the world is paying attention. They know that we're getting weak. Shit's about to shift, Warriors.
And now they're closing the gap in a big way. So it's essential that we regain our momentum that we've lost and the work of our time, it seems to me, those of us who hold public office, is to prepare ourselves to be more competitive and to win the fast-changing 21st century in the global economy. Things are changing incredibly quickly. That's why I propose 2 critical pieces of legislation being debated back in Washington right now. The first, a bill to invest in our physical infrastructure. And the second is a bill to invest in our human infrastructure. I'll talk about both these bills in just a moment. But first, I want to set one thing straight. These bills are not about left versus right, or moderate versus progressive, or anything that pits Americans against one another. These bills are about competitiveness versus complacency. They're about opportunity versus decay. They're about leading the world or continue to let the world pass us by, which is literally happening.
He just said the world is passing us by. It's literally happening right now.
To support these investments is to create a rising America. America is moving. To oppose these investments is to be complicit in America's decline. To support these bills is to pursue a broader vision of our nation, and oppose them is to accept a very cramped view of our future. This isn't about two pieces of legislation. It's about the inflection point I mentioned earlier we are in our history, the world history. So here's what I'm proposing. First, the infrastructure bill. It's about rebuilding our roads, our highways.
Okay, so you can go watch this yourself. I just wanted you to hear it right from the, what did they say, the horse's mouth, right? So he's telling you, we're getting the shit kicked out of us in America, literally getting the shit kicked out of us, coming from your president's mouth. We're two from the bottom, right? And then he goes, I would highly recommend you watch that video. He talks about China is kicking our ass. And that was a little bit deeper in the video, but I want to show you this, okay? So this is was back in January 31st, 2021. Now, Warriors, I've been sharing you to go back to my videos. I've been sharing these exact narratives that the president is saying yesterday, the exact narratives a year ago, and telling you to get prepared for this. You can go watch the videos. I'm the one that was breaking these news out there and saying, listen, guys, we got to get ready. The news chart shows China could overtake the U.S. as the world's largest economy earlier than expected. This was in January. The latest GDP reports show that the U.S. fell by 2.3% in 2020, while China's grew by 2.3% amid the C word. The divergence means China will likely overtake the U.S. as the world's largest economy a few years earlier than anticipated. However, they pointed out that the two countries have different economic structures, and China's per capita GDP is still far below that of the U.S. But the U.S. is losing sight quickly, Warriors. So we know this is happening. U.S. faces recession if Congress doesn't address the debt ceiling limit within 2 weeks. Now, here's the thing. If they raise the debt ceiling, that means we keep the quantitative easing machine going. And our debt to income ratio, let me show it to you guys, is completely upside down. So this is actually, I did this in the future here. So let me go to 2021. Okay, you can pull this up. This is the usdebtclock.org. So this is as of today. So our debt ceiling was 22 trillion, and August 1st was the deadline for the debt ceiling suspension. August 1st, 2021. Don't quote me on that date. I think that was what it was. But basically, we were supposed to be at 22 trillion. We're at 28 trillion. So we're 6 trillion over our debt ceiling, right? So our gross domestic product's at 22 trillion. So we're negative debt to income ratio. We're deep. Okay. So it looks like what is this right now? So in the 1960s, we were at 52% debt to income ratio. Awesome. Okay. 1980s, we were at 34%. That's amazing. That was, I think that was Ronald Reagan. 2000, we're at 56%. That's GDP, gross domestic product, debt to income ratio. That means we're basically kind of profitable, I guess, the way you want to look at it. And now we're at 125%. So if we walked into a car dealership as America, we would get declined. We have more debt than we have products, goods, and services. Now, what happens if they don't raise the debt ceiling? They can't pay for Medicare. These are the largest budgeted items, Social Security, or defense. Now, look what happens if we hit the time machine to 2025. Check this out. If we keep going at this pace, by 2025, we'll be at 177% debt to income ratio. This is scary. This is really, really scary. Okay, so what is the debt limit? So debt limit is used from the U.S. Department of Treasury. Debt limit is the total amount of money that the United States government is authorized to borrow to meet the existing legal obligations, including Social Security, Medicare benefits, military salaries, interest on the national debt, tax refunds, and other payments. So basically, if they can't raise the debt ceiling, they won't be able to do tax refunds, Medicare benefits, military. They can't fund our military. So do you really think they're not going to raise the debt limit, Warriors? So why am I sharing with you guys that you should be scared? This is why people are running to gold, to silver. If you follow Lynette Zhang from ITM, I know she's not into crypto. I'm very into crypto, but she says she's got a bug out shelter, right? You got Ray Dalio saying cash is trash. You got Robert Kiyosaki bringing on top economists talking about guys run for assets. That's why do you think Bill Gates is buying land? Why do you think they're changing up their stock portfolios? Why do you think Warren Buffett closed out of most bank stocks, raised his position in Bank of America by 10% connected to Ripple? That's just my opinion. And he bought into Nubank, which is a cryptocurrency friendly bank. Think about this, Warriors. The freight train has left the building. And this is the Warren Buffett indicator. This is one of my favorite. I know I've showed it to you guys a million times. We want to keep this top of mind, just like the predictive program. You guys, our update on September 30th, 2021, the U.S. stock market the Warren Buffett indicator is the indicator of the ratio of the United States stock market valuation to gross domestic product. Now, gross domestic product is all the products, goods, and services within America. If we were to sell all of them, could we pay off our debt? Okay, so that's the value of the companies in America versus the value of the stock market. So what does that mean? So annualized GDP, it's at 22 trillion, but the stock market value is at 53 trillion. How does that make any sense? Who's creating the GDP? The companies in America. So why is there such a discrepancy, and why is the stock market valued at 232% overvalued? Because of all the quantitative easing and money printing wars. You heard President Biden say it himself. We're two from the bottom, warriors. And they used to give out free education. But what happened when the government got involved and started charging or doing loans for education? Education became very expensive. Once they detached from the gold standard in 1971, they turned on the printing machine. Whereas this has been planned out for a very long time. Do your research. Build back better. There was a thing that he mentioned multiple times: the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum was created in January 1971. We detached from the gold standard in August 1971. You heard Biden mention the World Economic Forum multiple times throughout his speech. Okay, so let's jump right over. So we started with the current president. Let's see what the former president is talking about on Tuesday, October 5th, 2021. Remember, this is not politics. This is facts, figures, numbers, logic. I'm giving you both sides of the coin so you can make an informed decision. So Trump on crypto. I'm a big fan of the US dollar, warns about the loss of the global financial status. Former President Donald Trump weighed in on Bloomberg cryptocurrency, booming cryptocurrency movement, reiterating his concerns that rapidly proliferating digital coins pose a threat to US dollar status of global reserve currency. Okay. In fact, Trump believes that China's recent move to ban crypto is a warning shot to the U.S. to protect its currency. He told Yahoo Finance in a wide-ranging interview about the economy and his potential aspirations for the next general election. He added that Chinese President Xi Jinping wants to create his own cryptocurrency to dominate the global markets in a bid to overtake the U.S. dollar as the world's leading currency. The former president warns that the U.S. needs to be very careful going forward. I'm a big fan of our currency, and I don't want to have other currencies coming out hurting and demeaning the dollar in any way, Trump said. He invoked the credibility of the global financial architecture, in which the greenback is fulcrum. If you look at the monetary system based on the dollar, if you start losing credibility, all of a sudden you're going to lose that strong monetary system, he said. We have to be very careful about that. So this is why you're hearing all the narrative around stablecoins. Whereas, do you realize if they're not able to regulate stablecoins, do you see that we are getting 10, 15, some stable coins are giving, 10, 15%, 4%, 3%, right? I'm getting 4% on a stable coin right now. What bank can give you that much? Where so they're like, we need to regulate stable coins. We need to create our own stable coin. We need to get in the game. And what's happening, there's some sort of narrative that we don't see, warriors. There's some sort of narrative happening. It almost seems like they're crashing the economy purposely to have China be the new superpower as they're packing their bags in the cryptocurrency space and the quantum financial system. Whereas I don't think that cryptocurrency was created for us to have sovereignty. I don't. I think that we are on a delicate tightrope trying to figure out how to invest in the new infrastructure of the financial system so that we can gain in the monetary system, so we can bring the money back to the people. I think that's the only choice you have. Do you really think that this is sovereign? Do you really think that they don't have their hands in this somehow? Do you really think the SEC is not linked up with Coinbase? And do you really think that the SEC is not linked up with BlackRock and Grayscale and all these companies? Whereas, do you really think that? And may it be that I do research every single day and I'm connecting the dots behind the scenes. I was in the banking system. I worked in the banking system. Wars. If there's money involved, there's going to be people rubbing elbows and taking care of each other. So, Warriors, what I'm doing is I'm heavily weighted in crypto. And yes, I'm exiting 50% of my portfolio at price targets on the way up. I'm exiting. I'm going to set it on the side. I'm going to see what happens with the crypto market. It will come pulling back. I'm going to keep 50% long term moon bags. I'm not going to touch them. I'm also going to continue to buy precious metals. I'm also going to be buying companies. I'm going to diversify across different asset classes so that I can protect my family for generation after generation. But sitting in cash, in my opinion, cash is trash. Ray, don't believe me. Don't believe some long-haired hippie dude that's just got his shit together 2 years ago. Believe Ray Dalio. Believe Robert Kiyosaki. Believe, London Real. Believe all these people out there that are telling you. Believe Michael Saylor. Believe Elon Musk. Believe all these billionaires that are moving their money into assets, Warriors. The reason why you don't believe it is because you've been predictive programmed into an indoctrination system to keep you just over broke. And I know this is confusing, Warriors. It's a lot of information to intake. But Warriors, I'm going to continue to bring you this information to educate, to help you guys understand that there's a big opportunity right now for you to be the one to shift the generation within your family. So if you want to be in a community of amazing people that we created, that we got together, because it's hard when you're in this type of environment, people don't understand you, but we created a community just like that. Warriors, click the link down below, just description down below. You'll see the Warrior Academy. You can see exactly what it's all about. We give 100% money back guarantee. If it's not what you think it is, Warriors, then ask, hit the customer service up. We'll give you your money back. We're not going to play games with your money. We want to help you. We want to inspire you. We're not asking you to trust a word I say, but we're trying to help you make good decisions, Warriors, because you've been programmed for a very long time a certain way. It's time to open up your mind and awareness to the possibilities for you as a human being. I know it's been a long video. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And as we always say, Warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go.